Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Straight Talk for the Soul series, your vibrational, multidimensional vitamin for the body, mind, and spirit. I'm Carrie Murphy, your host, creator, and founder of this global broadcast and brilliant community of light. I want to extend a bright and beautiful good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you tuning in from around the world. Welcome home, everybody. This is a sacred space for shifting and upgrading, a space for healing and for the remembrance of your divine nature. We invite you to subscribe to this show. It is a free platform that you can access at straighttalkforthesoul.com, and you can listen to all of your replays, including today's, on iTunes and YouTube, and connect with us further in our private Facebook group or on Instagram. Just enter in Straight Talk for the Soul to find us. And now, my favorite question, what is the best that could happen today? Well, I highly encourage you to intend for healing to happen, for a shift to happen, because Christopher Macklin is here with me to discuss Melchizedek, divine healing miracles, and sacred transformations. My intention with today's soulfully inspired gathering and adventure, as always, is for love and grace and healing energy to flow through my voice and this sacred energetic space with ease, welcoming in and inviting the highest divine support and participation for awakening and clearing and healing to be realized by all of us in beautiful new ways. So today on the show, you'll experience the wisdom and the power of divine healing and the many transformations that spring from it. Every area of life can be positively changed through this sacred modality of Christopher's. He is a powerful Melchizedek being who will share with us deeper insights about how divine healing works, how it can rebalance, restore, and heal our bodies, our minds, our emotions, and our lives. Now, let me tell you how Christopher works. He is part medical medium and part human X-ray machine. He is able to see into the physical body, the chakras, and the energy field in order to assist people with all types of blockages, imbalances, illnesses, and disease patterns. During every healing session, he channels large numbers of God's angelic light beings to work directly with him and all of his clients. And his approach is incredibly thorough. He combs through the entire body, all the systems, clearing, balancing, rejuvenating the chakra points, all layers of the energy field, while removing any negative entities, toxic energies, cords, or attachments. He's helped people recover from all types of illnesses, cancer, herpes, diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, high blood pressure, and many others. Every illness is treatable through Christopher's gift of divine healing, although the individual results vary depending on the facet of healing selected by God. He also treats emotional disorders, including addictions and chronic depression and anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia. The whole person and their whole life are treated. Therefore, relationships with family members and loved ones can also be repaired and restored. So you're also going to experience a powerful healing activation and process later on in the show. And you have an opportunity to work directly with Christopher one-on-one. If you've called in by phone, press star 2 to raise your hand to be considered for that. And I am so excited to welcome Christopher to our community. So please join me in extending waves and waves of love and light and joy to Christopher as I welcome him to the show. So welcome, my friend.
Yay! Thanks, Kelly. Thanks.
Yay!
Yeah. Hey, listen, stop stealing my...
That's my line. That's my line, Christopher.
I said to my accountant the other day, because we've got an accounts company who does the accounts, because it's all blah, 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 you know. I said to her, yay, and she goes, you're stealing my line. I said, no.
We're speaking the same language. That's a good thing.
Yay, absolutely. Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome. I can't believe you haven't been on before. It's a joy to have you here, and I know a lot of people probably already know you, Christopher, and hopefully a whole new group of beautiful beings gets to know you better today. As I mentioned, you are a Melchizedek being. Let's just start right there. What does that mean, Christopher, being a Melchizedek being? Describe what that means to you.
Well, the Melchizedek beings from the ultimate dimension, they were involved with the creation, with the prime creator of this third dimensional world, and they're there to police it. So there's a certain amount of people who had the classroom and been back and back many times to try and help, rebalance things as they kind of get out of control, because as we know, it's a third dimensional world. It's all free will, but if there's violations and things, then you can alter things or remove certain aspects if they're affecting humanity profoundly. So I'm one of the chairmen of the Galactic Federation. There's two other Melchizedek beings who chair it as well. And like I say, I don't just do healing. We do a lot of things. Like, for example, a hurricane. We did a ceremony, worked with the Arcturians and got them in to actually, they actually stabilized it and kept it in a particular place so it could start to blow out, bit by bit, because it's too destructive, because I felt like it's a manipulation. Now, if it's natural, it's difficult because it's Gaia's way of purging, but that wasn't natural. There was other forces involved with it, so they decided to, okay, we'll stabilize it, we'll keep it in one place, it'll start blowing itself out, and it's things like that with space-time continuum. What does that mean? Well, if you have a football, we live inside a football, so imagine, and the air inside the football is this time-space continuum. Now, if people open portals, and there's certain machines and different things people are developing, like, for example, Tesla lights, they're pretty destructive in terms of they open 7 million portals an hour, and all over the place, unless you set your intent and can stabilize. Most people don't understand that, so they don't put the thought in, right, let's just open it in the fifth dimension, let's open it somewhere else. So the thing's opening portals all over the place. So you can imagine it's like putting holes in the football. The more holes you put in, and then the air gets contaminated, and you've got to maintain this space-time continuum for us to live here. So what we tend to do is periodically close portals. And, the other thing is we get involved with the Arcturians a lot. The Arcturians are very close to Melchizedek beings, and what happens is there's a crystalline structure around the planet, as you're probably aware of. So as things get tumultuous, so everyone gets angry and upset, and all that energy starts flooding into the grid, and so we actually go and clear the grid periodically, because if you didn't, you get this overwhelming, like, humanity, what would you call it, energy that really affects you. It can be like absolute despair, and if you didn't clear it, you get a lot of suicides going on, because people get this despair, they think it's theirs, and it's not. It's actually coming from the grid. And, we used to clear it something like once every 2 months. At the moment, believe it or not, we're clearing it once every 2 weeks or once every week, because I think things are starting to amp up a bit. So that's another job we get on. There's a lot going on. Not just
you wear
healing.
a lot of hats. You wear a lot of
crazy
hats.
But I love it, I love what I do.
I know you do. And you're very generous and devoted to this work. And do you consider yourself a healer or a facilitator of healing, or how do you perceive what happens when you're working with people?
Well, it's a good point, actually, Kerry, because a lot of people, when I see healers, it's nothing to do with me, it's all God. Well, hang on a minute. That's not correct. If you don't show up and do your bit, it's pulling the divine and, the Melchizedek beings down here, because it's very, third dimensional world is like, you come down here, you're making mistakes, you're doing things, it's free will. Now, if they're up there, they're sitting there, thinking, well, when are you going to ask me, when are you going to pull me down here? And if you don't pull the divine down, they'll sit there and they're not allowed to interfere. So it's our job as starseeds, you're put on this planet, and, for example, you get in God's queue and God says, I want volunteers. I'll do it, And then you get down here and think, wow, what was I thinking? I always tell people, this is the secret. Next time God says, I want volunteers, pretend you got diarrhea, go to the toilet and stay in there until all the volunteers are taken. I'm just joking.
No, it's a big assignment.
It's a big assignment. Think twice about it next time now. I love it. I haven't always loved being down here. When I was in the corporate world, I used to look around and think, you've got to be kidding, You have to. And I had some big jobs, but, I used to look at the people in corporate enterprises. Why is it such a mess? And it's because I didn't fit in. And I think, you know, a lot of starseeds just don't fit in. I don't belong here. I want to go back. Well, look, you got in God's key, you came down. He said, what we've got to do is turn ourselves around and become back to your sovereign self. And, you know, so going back to the facilitator, are you a facilitator or are you a healer? I view myself as a conductor of the orchestra, and the orchestra is the Melchizedek beings. And without the conductor, nothing would happen, you know. And so you're the conductor. I'm not even a conduit, you know, because I don't move energy through myself. I portal it. And that's a very important point, because if you get connected to people's energies, you know, we work on 1,200 people a week. And, you know, if you're connected to all those energies, you're going to get sick, you know. And so it's important to, you know, be a conductor, open portals, do things, and then get the Melchizedek beings through and get the energies through the portals where the person's inside sacred geometry without, you know, touching or doing things, because, you know, you wouldn't be able to do this level of healing. So, so it's understanding the healing. You know, one of the biggest things I've found is that I spent years in meditation. You know, this gift is pretty profound, and, you know, I'm really excited with it. I thank God for it every day, because it is a gift. Everyone's got gifts, you know, whether you're a painter, you know, that's still healing. If you're amazing at painting, you look at painting, oh my God, that's incredible. Now, you know, with me, you know, if I went into a gallery with my painting, get out and never come back. I never want to see you again, because my paintings are dreadful. You know, same with, you know, doing stuff at home like DIY. You know, I don't do it because I'm not good at it. I get myself all frustrated because, you know, I'll cut some wood, try and make a table, and things don't fit. You know, oh my goodness, let's just call it a day. Let's get the professionals and pay them, and let me focus on doing the healings. And I think that's a very important point, you know. But so, you know, I'm a conductor of the orchestra, really. And, you know, you should be blessed by it, you know. I really encourage people never to say, oh, it's nothing to do with me. Of course, you know, if you don't show up in those times that you're doing the healing, nothing would happen. So you are an active participant in someone else's healing. Albeit, you know, the Melchizedek beings are doing it, but you're guiding them, you're doing it. And I think one of the biggest things about healing is that you've got to really understand cause and effect. And so it's no so, well, send a bit of energy. Okay, so someone's got a brain tumor, let's send a bit of energy. Well, primary cause of cancer is emotion. So, you know, you ingest emotion, your vibration drops, and then everyone's got viral infection in their body, and viral infections start to get prominent. You know, they activate, and because your vibration's low, if your vibration's high, they stay dormant. And then it mutates the cells, turn into tumours. So the tumours are mere nothing. It's a common cold. You know, but if you look at the cause and effect, you know, you've got to release the emotion very quickly, you know, get the vibration up. And also we use a different energy. It's called space-time continuum energy. And what that does is it fries any low vibrational stuff, like it fries tumours. It also fries viral infections. And over the period, you know, once you've got rid of that viral infection and released enough emotion that the vibration's up, fry the tumour, it's gone, and it's not gone like you're in remission, it's gone forever, you know. And that's the difference, you know. So
yeah, it's all about raising the frequency of the body to higher and higher levels. That's what you're doing, and then that translates into just a more rewarding life. You know, greater health and vitality and everything.
Well, you get excited, and I think you kind of surrender. You know, because this work to me is a way of life. We just actually moved to the ministry building 3 weeks ago. We bought it's a 4,000 square foot house. We moved there. I feel very blessed by it. It's got 5 acres. It's just a beautiful place to work, you know, because we do so much work. I think you've got to be really tranquil and you know, really, what would you call it, kind of home from home. It's like a foundation. So if I'm here or at home, it doesn't matter. It feels like home, either one, you know. And I think that's really important. And, you know, but, you know, I spent 4 years in meditation, understanding cause and effects, looking at spirochetes, nanotech, looking at, you know, everything, cancers, you know, problems with the GI, you know, muscular dystrophy, look at autoimmune issues, you know, I've looked at them all, but I don't know everything, you know, I'm kind of still learning, you know, because I came across a very, very important change, and that was with Lyme disease, HIV, Agent Orange, and Morgellons. We found a new protocol, and we actually worked on it, and it takes 8 weeks to get it out of the body and change the DNA, and it's worked, and so we're going to run it once more. If it works, then that's fantastic. We could offer that as a protocol. So, you know, I'm always looking, there's always new things that are happening, you know.
Absolutely. How has, Christopher, I mean, I guess you've been doing this, I believe it's for 30 years now, right? You moved out of corporate, working in a completely different world, and your life has really changed. But I want to ask you, How has it even changed just in the last few years? Your personal life and health and everything. How have things shifted for you?
Well, I was in a long relationship, and so what happened is I stopped it, but it was kind of a manipulation, I think, and sadly it didn't happen. So I got out of that, and I found that I found my true counterpart. And what that means is that it's not even a twin flame, because twin flames, when you get with twin flames, there's like a lot of karma and things happening, and because you're so alike, you blow each other up, and you get angsty and everything else. With counterpart, they are the counter of your part. So Mandy, is a Melchizedek being. We've integrated our soul. So it's a very different relationship. It's very. I can feel her. When things happen, she can feel me. And if you feel a bit off, she goes, "Oh, darling, you're feeling off." It's almost like two souls integrate. But it's not easy to integrate, let me tell you. When we were integrating, I crashed my car twice. We had all sorts of stuff because of the emotion and the amazing. It was amazing, but it was pretty profound. So. But my life's changed completely. I mean, the ministry's getting out there. I feel really excited. I love doing what I do. And like I say, it's a way of life, Healing, you should never treat it as a job. I've heard so many people, I want to do 4 or 6 healings a day, and then I'm going to go home. You can't, because if you get that call at 10 o'clock at night, and Betty phones up, for example. I always call everyone Betty. I don't know why. It's one of those British things, I guess. So Betty phones up. My daughter, is trying to commit suicide. What shall I do? So, you'll have to phone me tomorrow. So you phone tomorrow, sorry, she committed suicide the night. You can't leave things like that. You have to do something about it. And most suicides caused by extreme attachments, like draconian attachments. They're very, very dark, and they send such bad thought overpowering that, so it's really important to intervene, I remember having something exactly like that, and it was a few years ago. It was day before Father's Day. So this lady phones up. Sometimes I get tears saying this, so if I get tears, apologies. But, anyway, so this lady texted me, my daughter's trying to... Oh, God. So I phoned her up, just left the office. Phoned her, what's happening? Well, she's walking around the yard, and this is a girl who's been in Broadway on the stage, trying to suicide. She's urinating in the yard, trying to slit her wrist. Look, I can't do anything right now. Don't let her out your sight, and I'll be back in about an hour or so. Is that okay? Yep. So the things I was meant to do, went back, and she had a draconian attachment. So within an hour, I've got a suicidal girl who's laughing her head off within 1 hour of working on the adrenals. She looked grey, she looked really sick, and she went back pink. You could see her whole face change. So within an hour, I turned that girl's life around. We did some more to get her back on Broadway, spreading her light, That's her healing, her acting ability. So, it's one of the things that you can't just, say, well, it's not a job, it's a gift, it's a way of life. And I think, there has to be commitment there, in my opinion,
I agree. And I know your devotion is very sincere, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing. You are very generous in terms of your time and your love and everything that you share. You just mentioned about the woman that you just spoke of with the draconian attachment, and this is a part of your work that I don't know if it's a specialty, but you really do address blockages or interferences. Are you able to see them, or do you feel them, or how do you recognize that something like that is happening with somebody?
Oh, I can see them. The problem is, the good thing about it is I can switch it off. So, if you go to a restaurant, there's a lot of, a bar, for a beer or something, I can see them. So I kind of switch it off, I get out of the space so you don't see them, because if you went in and all these snarls are looking, oh, God, that's not good. It's nice to, go out for dinner and not have to look at snarly reptilians. So I kind of switch it off. But when I'm in the mode, like beings, I can also remote view in the body. So, if someone's, in Australia or wherever, we do all the sessions over Skype, or, we do, obviously, things by Zoom. And, I can remote view, see it in the body, and, then we portal it and escort it out the body, because I'm not physically there. So either way, but it's just important to see them, because if you don't, And the other thing about it as well is, if you remove an entity, the thing will come back within 10 minutes after the healing session once your vibration is dropping, if your vibration is precarious, and it takes a few healing sessions sometimes to get your vibration over a threshold. And people say, well, when do I know I'm over the threshold? I always say, well, when you're leaping out of bed in the morning, go, oh my God,
by how you feel, right?
You know, you got this inner strength.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you know. So if you're leaping out of bed, you know, you got this inner strength, inner passion. I'm doing it. You know, I'm taking on the world. You know, that to me is.
That's a good sign.
Right?
That's a good sign.
Great sign. Actually, I'm probably lying because the first thing I say is Mandy coffee, and yeah, let's over the day, but because Mandy makes the best coffee. Forget Starbucks.
Yeah. You know what's beautiful about what you offer are these amazing prayers that you create that really support people with, you know, after they've done the healing work with you, it really supports them in keeping their vibration high and their energy field clear. And that's a big part of the, I don't know if you'd want to, if it's maintenance but it's energetic maintenance. And, but one thing I want to address before I go to that is you just said when you were working with someone that you portal it and escort it out the body, you know, whether it's an attachment or whatever it is. Describe what that means when you portaling it and escorting it out of the body. Is it, just go into that a little more deeply. I want to feel what that means and visualize it.
Well, what it means is, for example, you know, we're on a call where we've got, you know, a lot of people on it, and so, you know, so what we do is put you in 8 portals. So from the ultimate dimension, I open 8 portals around you, and then what we do is bond it into Merkaba fields, 27 esoteric Merkaba fields. Now the reason for that is because it creates a space around your body of the Merkaba fields, which means the entities can't get in while you're actually doing the work. It means the Melchizedek beings can come through the ultimate dimension, through the portal, into the Merkaba field, because it's their time-space continuum, and they can actually work in the body. But obviously, the biggest thing about it, you know, you can get the ultimate dimension and flood that into the body and get the body's vibration up, because, you know, it's like, you know, if we just send them in now and, you know, your vibration's not high enough, it's like them trying to get in a brick wall. So you've got a vibration and get it somewhere near what they are, and then they can walk in the body and do psychic surgery and things like that. So and the other good thing about it as well is because you're in your own safe space, you will not get contaminated by anyone else's energy on the call. And I think that's a really important point, because if you've got, you know, like on some of the things we have 250, 300 people, and, you know, if you didn't put in portals, you're going to feel everyone else's energy on that call, because, you know, whatever system you're using, whether it's Zoom or something else, you know, the energies come through that, and so do entities as well. So I think it's a really important point. It's keeping people safe while you're doing healings. And then obviously, you know, like I say, you know, until your vibration's right up there where you're leaping out of bed, oh my God, it's important to say the prayer of protection, because if you don't, you're going to get another entity within 2 hours. Now, these things, I've found over the last few years, these things, you know, we used to have to say it like twice a day, or once a day, then twice a day. Now you have to say it every 2 hours. Why? Well, these things are cheeky. They've got very crafty. And what they do is they evolve themselves into something slightly different. So if you say, okay, God, protect me now by a sphere of ultimate dimensional, from that right then, but as the time changes by 2 hours, if it's evolved, you're not protected from the evolvement. So I've always had to police this thing to be one step ahead of these things, crafty, you know.
Mm-hmm.
In England, we call them cheeky lights.
Right. Okay, so when you say things like that, I mean, what about putting people in a state of fear because they feel this constant need to be in a protective state? You know what I mean? Where's the, I understand what you're saying. What about people getting into a state of fear, because that would lower their vibration?
Well, the thing is, their vibration, they're probably in a state of fear or anxiety or something anyway, and I think the whole point about it is getting this, I want to get healed, I want to get up. Once you're up there and you're leaping out of bed, you don't have to say anything, because vibration's way too high, things can't get near you.
Right.
But if your vibration's precarious, of course they can. So, and that's the thing, so, you know, it's about really, I think, investing in yourself and getting yourself up to that, what I call in quotes, the God space. And it's like, you know, going up if we went to Branson, okay, we're going to amusement park, so we cut off the power to the roller coaster, and so okay, if you want to get your vibration, you've got to push that car up the hill. So, you know, and it's a really steep start. Like, you know, it's normally with, you know, drives and you haven't got it. So these entities prod you, and you go back a couple of feet and then you push. And once you get that hill and you jump in the car, the momentum, it takes off, and it's a correlation. Is the same, I think, as vibration. Once you're up there, you don't have to worry about any entities. They can't get near you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, you know, if you're practical whilst you're doing the healing and look, okay, this is my healing time. Let's not have any fear. Let's get healed. Let's get excited about healing, and let's get the vibration up there so that you know again and you don't get any attachments. So I never have fear about these things. That's why we produce the prayers, because spiritual attack, you know, you do get spiritual attacks. I'm sure most people have. You know, you feel nauseous for no reason, or you throw up. I've had it. You know, I remember I was doing some work with a nun. This is about 3 or 4 years ago now. And anyway, she left the Vatican. Suddenly, her life turned south, like really, really south. And I said, did you get anything from the Vatican? Yep, I got a letter off the Pope. I said, what does it say? She goes, I haven't a clue. So I remote viewed it. It was Luciferian writing, kind of blocking her life. I thought, oh, this is not okay. I said to her, do you mind if you burn it? No, not at all. So I said, we're going to do a ceremony next Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I phoned her up. She goes, I can't do it. I said, why is that? She said, it's like a gale force 6, 8 wind. You know, it's too windy out here. I can't even light the thing. Hang on a minute. So I had a look, and it was a manipulation. Took it out. The wind stopped. Like immediately. She goes, oh, wow, what did you do? I said, don't worry about it. Let's do the ceremony. So we did the ceremony, burnt it, released it to God, and asked God to take care of it, and all the beings involved with manipulation, bring them before God and release them to God with unconditional love and forgiveness. And did all that, and 2 hours later, I ran to the bathroom. I was violently sick, and I went, hang on, what's going on? I realised it was them retaliating with some sort of radionic in my intestine. So took it out, it stopped immediately. So these things do happen. It's not to be scared of them, but I think if you understand what they are, you can do something about them. If you don't understand what they are, you just be being violently sick all day. Oh, I got it. Must be something I ate. No, it was a manipulation, and that happens to a lot of people. So I think, to me, it's kind of, when you get an understanding of things, then you can actually do something about them. But if you don't have an understanding, they're still going to mess with you anyway. So, and you'll get sick. Maybe, if you ever felt discombobulated one morning, you wake up and think, wow, I feel like, it's almost like going for an examination next day, and you've got butterflies in your stomach, but why do I feel like this? Well, it's because you've got remote views. These things watch you from a different dimension, and they try and make you feel discombobulated and things like that. So, prayer there, take them out, they're gone. Suddenly you feel grounded, you feel great again. So I think the biggest thing from that is, if you feel off or you feel discombobulated for no reason, there is a reason. Something's happening. And so we have spiritual attack prayers. We have different prayers which is maps of intent, of course. A prayer is just a map of intent to stop something from happening and or remove it. So no, I wouldn't have fear. I always think it's kind of getting excited, like, I want to be there, let's get in the God space, So,
well, and it's about awareness and discernment, and that's what leads to greater and greater empowerment, and that's what I'm all about. And, with the Melchizedek support, do you see the Melchizedek beings as they are supporting you, whether it's with individuals or groups or even the planet? I mean, do you see them? Is it something
yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of them, and, of course, the Melchizedeks are very close to the Arcturians. They work, the Arcturians work very closely with us. It was really interesting because I went to mention there was Zeta Gray problems. I mean, I don't know about the Zeta Grays because this is the Galactic Federation. I on the chairman there, we talked, okay, there's a very close call between violation and manipulation. Now, sorry, not that. Violation and education, sorry. So, for example, we have interdimensional beings who mess with us and everything else. You know this when you come down, okay, you're going to get this cauldron of stuff happening, you've got to grow from it and keep them away, but they're not, they're kind of manipulating, but they're not violating in respect because you knew about that. But the Zeta Greys, they've been abducting people and stealing body parts. Is that a violation? Absolutely. And so it was agreed to actually sweep them off the planet about a year, I think it's 2 years last June, if I remember rightly. But anyway, so we had this meeting. So they actually swept them off the planet. Now they're still trying to get through portals, but they can't be on this planet anymore. And that was a huge shift because, you know, it means abductions are beginning to stop completely. And, you know, ever since I've not seen any abductions, and I was getting abductions. Oh God, you know, I feel as though I've been raped and things are happening. I was on a ship and, you know, you name it, I've dealt with it. That's all stopped. So I was very pleased about that because I've never ever done that before. But then, you know, a race hasn't ever come down and try and steal body parts off a planet. So
it is interesting because I haven't heard of things like that in a long time. You're right. I haven't. I used to hear about that.
I think, you know, the problem is I lose track of time because you just do this work and there is no time. You know, I mean, you know, that's what I love about it. But I think it was 2 years last June, I think, that we agreed it and they were swept off the planet. And like you say, you know, there's no abductions anymore. And I worse. So that stopped. So, you know, hopefully we're doing good work.
Yes. So when we were talking about the importance of keeping our energy high and everything is about just doing that consistently, what are some of the ways that people can do that? And are these practices that, you know, of your own as well? I mean, do you do these things every day yourself?
Well, I tend to maintain my vibration now. I think when you get over a threshold, it's easy to maintain it, you know, and because I love life, you know, I love my wife, I love what I do. I thank God for all the gratitude of everything in my life, you know, all the time. You know, to me, when you get in this place, you surrender to God. God's got my back, don't have to worry about anything, you know. Never think about bills, never think about anything. The accountant does all the accounts and the girls pay the bills in the office, you know. I check once every 2 or 3 days to, you know, see what the revenue is, of course, because sensibly, you have to pay bill. You know, you have to pay the wages. So you have to make sure. But anything else, I'm not worried about because it's always there. God always creates whatever you need, whether it's money or whether it's a building or whether it's something. But I think ways to improve it. I think keeping energy up is starting to refocus on your mind and start to look at the gratitude and really work on that. Because people, I'm very grateful. You know, it's like the secret. You know, get a gratitude stone. Okay, God, look, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm grateful for blah, 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 blah. Right, we're done. You know, that's all the time I've got. It doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't work like that. I think, you know, gratitude is like you feel every single second and minute of every day because, you know what I mean? And it's almost like the surrendered gratitude connected to God and, you know, and it's just an amazing place to be. But it means you've got to release enough emotions. I mean, one of the things you can do is, you know, use the meditation for stress and anxiety. It's a powerful meditation. It really helps. You know, use these guided meditations because the problem with a lot of things, it also, meditates a lot, but, you know, you don't have to do meditation sometimes. All you have to do is clear your mind and then, you know, you'll start connecting more with your starseed family or whoever it is. And I think that's important, you know, meditate with them because, you know, when you meditate with them, you can feel that love, you know, absolute unconditional, oh my gosh, and you feel so blissy. You don't even want to get off the bed. You think, wow, this is amazing. I mean, when I had those 4 years of meditation, 4 to 6 hours a day, extraordinary things happen. And I spent so much time in that. And of course, I traveled around a bit, went doing healings. But that was an amazing time because, you know, and now, because of, you know, my time is taken up with healings and different things, you know, I'm in the ethers. I mean, because of remote viewing and getting the ethers, I'm in the ethers 12 hours a day. So when I finish work, it takes me about half an hour to come back. That's why Mandy says, I'm driving, you're not. Because, you know, if you went to a psychiatrist, they say, oh, you've got ADD, you know, attention deficit. Well, yeah, you know, because I've been in the ethers all day and it's difficult to get back in. But it's, you know, but I love it, you know. But no, I mean, just staying positive and policing every thought. One thing I did do is police every single thought. So if you get over, how am I going to pay that bill? Oh, back up. I'm going to do that bill. It's nothing to do with me. God's got my back. Don't even worry about the bill. Let's just focus on the work. And, you know, even last week, you know, I get people saying, well, you know, the money's really tight and I've got to do something to earn money that's spiritual. No, you've got to reverse that. You know, go and look at your gift and just do it, and the money will flow where the love goes. You know, and it really does. You know, but if you look at it, well, I've got to earn money, so I need to do I mean, my father said to me when I set this ministry, you got to do a 5-year cash flow forecast. I said, you have to be kidding, Dad. how do you cash flow God? God, can we cash flow? Oh, that'll be a nope. Okay, because it just happens. God stuff just happens. You just have to focus on it and stay positive. Don't just focus on your gifts. And if you really show up and surrender, you'll always be blessed. You'll always have enough.
I agree. It's really just living in that state of appreciation and gratitude and really cultivating that and this trust that everything is always okay. As you were speaking about the starseed families and connecting with them, I'm curious, okay, you use the word God a lot, and then the Melchizedek beings and the starseed families. How do you see them as being connected, or what does God mean to you, or who is God? And I know that's a broad question, but you do use the term, so what is God to you?
God's just everything. I mean, I think we're all God, we're all parts of God, we're created in the image, and I think, Melchizedek beings are God beings, so the Palladian, so, when I say God, it's just generic. I mean, when I say, sometimes I talk Melchizedek, sometimes I talk about God, but, the Melchizedek beings know, we're talking about them at the moment. But everyone's part of God, it's all God stuff, so I always use that term, and I always tell people, you don't like the word God, use what you like. A prime creator, all it is, all this holy universe, oneness, you can use anything, it's all part of the same thing, to me, and I just use that term, but it's only us that get all excited about, I'm not using God, well, who cares, God couldn't care less, it's only us that get excited down here. And I think I just use it because it's a generic term, so it's, I just everyone's God beings.
Are the Melchizedek beings unique and different from your starseed family, or are they one and the same?
They are one of the starseed families. I mean, they're beings that work a lot with the prime creator, and like say the Arcturians. They are my starseed family. I was spliced in at birth. I couldn't be born down here. Unless you've got two Melchizedek beings with 64% of DNA of the Melchizedek, then I couldn't be born down here. So my mother was abducted and spliced, and I came here, that's why my father kind of isn't my father, nor is my mother particularly, but it was spliced with enough DNA to get the Melchizedek. Now, it depends what starseed family. Some they have to splice, some they don't. And so, but certainly Melchizedek, they have to splice in. So, because the soul requires a certain integration with the body, and if you don't have that, integration, then you'll never get a Melchizedek soul to connect to the body. So I was abducted. Well, not me, but my mother was abducted, and I spliced in at birth. So that's why my father didn't get me one bit, because he's an accountant. He's all about cash flow and all interest and all that.
Mm-hmm. So how do you know this happened to you, Christopher? Were you shown this in your connections with the Melchizedek beings, that this took place, or?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've had many readers tell us, and also there's 5 Melchizedek beings, and one of the beings, I know all 5 actually. So it's really good because you can talk to one is not so good, but the 4 are great, and I think we kind of work together, so to speak.
Right.
And I think and also when I was when I went to Belize, they showed me my lives. I thought, wow, that's interesting. So I've come back many times, and we've come back many times, and I think a lot of starseeds has, because over the last 4,000 years, there's just been such a profound change of this Earth, getting ready for now. And it's not like 2,000 years ago when Babaji or anybody else. It's about right now, because right now is the most tumultuous time on this planet ever been, because it's very manipulative, but very subtle about it, and people don't get it in the Matrix. If you get in the Matrix, you don't realize you're being manipulated, because, in the past there's been a lot of things and wars and everything else, but now it's so subtle, it's incredible, it's very clever, very clever. So, we've been coming back.
How have you seen all of that changing more recently with the Matrix and everything that's going on our planet? How do you see that shifting and changing from your perspective?
Well, I see a lot of starseeds in different governmental positions, and certainly some of the leaders are helping to actually expose this, kind of what would you call it, satanic stuff happening, and it's the most satanic. I mean, I deal with Illuminati fallout children. I'm not going to go into it because it's pretty horrific, but what I can say is that, I'm very grateful to be able to do it, because these guys are abused up the wazoo. You would never believe half the stuff they do, and are forced to do from the age of 4. And, if you've got a satanic industry like that, with, paedophilia and all this sort of thing, it needs to change now. And I'm very grateful that, because I can see what's happening. We've got some very, and very light workers and light beings within this system. And it's really good that it's starting to change, because it has to. But one of the things also is, one of my jobs is to build a 60-story pyramid, 666 feet tall, in the heartland of America. And what it'll do is in high vibrational energy into the ley lines, and it'll start flushing out some of this stuck energies. Because, a lot of the Illuminati people, they actually use ley lines, and they put their banks on the edges of ley lines and things like this, so it'll help flush all that negativity out. And so we're pretty excited about that. Now, it'll probably cost, and I don't quite have that money. So that's a God thing, so I just tell God, well, look, when the ink's dry, we're ready, and until then, the thing is, you should never worry about, I've got to do this, no, it's all God stuff. God's got your back. God wants it to happen, so it'll just align in exactly the right time, whether it's a year or 2 years. And I know it's starting to align. I can see it. So we're really excited about doing that.
I like that you're excited. I am too.
Oh, yeah, well, it'll be the biggest man-made pyramid in the world, and we're going to do a documentary on it. Why the heck do you build this daft pyramid? Well, it's really helping people. And I think also it gives a focus on something, and because there's a focus on something, we can maybe do healings there, and, if people come to it, they'll get healed just by being in that energy. So I think it's really exciting. I'm really excited about that.
Again, I love when I love feeling the excitement. Even though you know and see and feel, a lot of the crazy stuff that goes on this planet, you have this excitement about what you're doing and what we're all doing, and especially in communities like these, we're doing a lot of beautiful work on the planet. So
there's so many people, and I think also, an analogy is like, I view it like a swimming pool. So humanity has leapt in the swimming pool, they're pooing and weeing, and would you want to dive in there? Probably not. So it's up to us as, light beings and starseeds and whatever you want to call us, to, pluck someone out, wash them off, dry them off. Oh my God, I feel so much better. And then they can go, and, it's about getting people back to their sovereign selves. It's not about gurus nowadays or anything else. You don't need gurus. The guru is within you. You are your own guru. And I think I always get excited when people shift. Oh my God, I've had so many people got caught up with things, and you get them out of that. Look, your own guru, your own sovereign self, and once you get that and you start getting connected, you're getting downloads, you get really excited about it. Wow, how do I know this? Well, it just came from nowhere. It doesn't come from nowhere. It's a download, and you keep getting downloads because your gifts start kicking in. So, I get really excited when people get excited. It's funny, actually, because I was working with a lady in France. She might be listening, actually, bless her. And, I was talking about, you need to switch off the news and everything. I said, it's all blah, blah, blah. And she goes, oh, yeah, it's all blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, what's French for blah, blah, blah? And she goes, blah, blah, blah. I said, does that mean we've got an international language for third-dimensional drivel? And that's the thing, actually. I think what you got to do, I never watch the news or anything. In fact, I do watch TV. We've got a few TVs around, but I never watch it. But we do put music on, like Pandora. I love music,
Mm-hmm.
But I think switching off all that and getting yourself in your own bubble where you've got your own people around you who never criticise you, just hold the space and love you without condition. It's a hard place to be, and I think a lot of people, when they spiritually grow, there's a lot of emotion with it, because you'll find people who thought were your best friend, they're gone, because as you grow spiritually, you react in different ways. You start not reacting to oh, not interested. And you'll find friends will leave and new ones come in, but very few. And I think sometimes people find that a lonely journey. But we have a good community with Mandy. In fact, Mandy's dad, is my best friend, which is amazing. So, we have a great community. But I don't have a lot of friends. You think, well, you must have hundreds. No, I've got about 5, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But the friends I do have, if your life was on the line or something was happening, they'd be right there.
Right.
So,
well, I would imagine that people look at you and feel like you are such just a gift in their life, just because you do this all day, every day. And so speaking of that, we have a lot of people, Christopher, with their hands up who want to connect with you, and I want to remind everybody that you're going to be offering an activation, a Melchizedek Energy Activation in just a little while. So everyone, stay tuned for that. But I want to take some private, one-on-one callers. What kind of information do you need from them, Christopher? And what are we going to do on these calls with them? Are you going to address perhaps blockages they have, or what's the best way to prepare our callers for this?
Yeah, let's have a look and see what's happening, and then we can help a bit. We can do a little bit of work for a few minutes, but the activation, that will clear quite a bit, especially entities. So, but let's see what issues people have got, and how they want help, and that'd be great. So
okay,
we can say anything on the call. We can work on anything.
Okay, so if I call on you, just let us know your name and just kind of briefly summarize what's going on with you, and we'll see what Christopher can do. Okay, so again, *2 to raise your hand, and many hands up. I'm going to area code 909. 909, you're live.
Hello?
Hi, welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. What is your name?
Fantastic. My name's Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn. How are you?
Hi, Christopher. I am great. You know what? I have been learning so much in the last year and a half about the field and how I have power to heal myself, but I kind of need a little boost from someone like you to kind of get me going a little faster than just slow poke me. Yeah.
Oh, bless you. So what do you need a boost on? Like, do you feel like the emotions releasing and things?
I don't know about that. It's more physical stuff. I have some issues with my spine, degenerative bone disease that kind of keep me a little bit more limited than what I'd like to be, and some fibromyalgia. Now, what they're based on, I don't know.
Well, fibromyalgia is a daft name that, you go to the doctor, you've got fibromyalgia, which means I don't know what's wrong with you. So you're going to have fibromyalgia, and here's some tablets. But fibromyalgia actually is, let me have a look what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, degenerative L4, L5. You've got an anti-attachment. Is your abdomen kind of heavy, bloaty?
Yes.
Yeah, so you've got an Anunnaki. It's 1,026 years old. It's actually female. I don't see many of them. Cheeky blighter. But anyway, so it's female. It's hanging on your shoulders. It's over 10'7" tall. So what it does is it actually makes your shoulders really tight.
Not as much as they used to be, but yeah, there's still some.
Yeah, and is your GI from the rib cage down, is it kind of gurgly and blur?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what's happening. And actually your parathyroid's off as well. You're leaching a bit of calcium out your bones. I would say your bone density is reduced a bit. It's not drastic. So it's important to rebalance that. And it's from emotion, I mean, when I tell people, look, you've got several thousand layers of emotion, God, how do you know? Well, everyone's got them. So, that's no big surprise. We live in this world and we don't fit in well, especially with your starseed. So you don't go. And so what we need to do is we can do this on, the general group. I'll be removing entities. So when I say removing entities, on the activation, we'll be clearing entities from you. So we might as well wait till then, which is in about 10 or 15 minutes. But what happens? You'll feel like this Anunnaki. It'll feel like drawing from your torso out through your tummy, but It's sitting in the abdomen, it's tapping the lower back, so your L4, L5 disc is damaged, shoulders are really tight, so you know, we'd need to actually do a disc replacement. Do you get sciatic on the right-hand side? Looks like it.
No, I don't. More, I get some pain on the left.
Okay. But do you get pain in your buttock? Like, you know, it feels like a toothache.
No, I don't. I do in my spine, like 10, 11. I get a lot of pain there. And 4 and 5, yes. Definitely.
Yeah,
but more thoracic 10 and 11.
Well, the disc is bulging. It looks like it's pressing on the sciatic nerve, so... Yeah, so you know, I think we need to replace that. You know, but I mean, I won't replace that this afternoon. That's got to be, you know, a session type thing to replace the disc and, you know, do a few things. But so this being, what it does, you get negative thoughts like, you know, you're useless, you're pathetic, and, you know, different thoughts coming through you. Then where do these come from?
The way I was brought up.
Yeah, but these things ride in on that emotion. So when we remove it, those thoughts will disappear. Because what these beings do is they tap in the lower back, they send you negative thoughts to your spinal column, and you think they're yours when they're not. So we'll remove that, and your adrenals are low. Do you feel quite tired a lot?
Yes.
Endocrine system's off, so your thyroid's off as well, so it's kind of paralyzed, and pituitary. So, you know, we need to work on them. It probably needs a session. But, you know, it's because of that, you know, you've got a big old blockage. When we take that entity off today, I would really advise you, say the prayer of protection every 2 hours if you can. And, you know, like I say, get a package, it'd be great. We can do a one-to-one session. And we can really start kickstarting the adrenals, working on the GI. Because the GI takes a little bit, because you're fighting emotion. Even though there's no entity there, you'll find, you know, your abdomens are not so bloaty. But when you remove the entity, you've still got emotion going into the solar plexus, so people still have problems. I mean, when you eat, you feel a bit blur, like, you know, a bit off, bloated.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because when the rib cage down, your intestines are working about 34% of the speed from further up. So as you're eating, as it gets further down, it backs up, it ferments in the wrong place, and because of that, if you leave it too long, you'll get leaky gut, can turn into diverticulitis. So it's important to clear that entity and clear the intestines and get your body rebalanced again, working on thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, and the adrenals, you know. And as soon as you do that, and also obviously work on the degeneration of the disc, because it's because of the entity, because they tap in it, and even though they're a spirit, they affect the energy, and so you do get degeneration down there, you know. So.
Oh yeah, it hurts all the time. Yeah.
So when we do that activation, you'll feel it leave. Bless your heart.
Okay.
Yeah, stay with us for the activation, Carolyn. And, go ahead, Christopher.
In a session with you, you really can replace the disc?
Oh, yeah. I've done it many times. Disc replacements take 48 hours, because what they do is they bring a disc from a different dimension, from the ultimate dimension. Here it's an energy field. They put it over the current disc, and then it switches dimensions in 48 hours. Your disc will leave this dimension, new one comes in. Now, if you do it with bigger organs, it takes a lot longer, because there's lots of nerves and, you know, pipes and things to connect. But with the disc, it's pretty simple, you know. So, well, it's, you know, it's nothing simple, but, you know, they can do it. So yeah, they can replace the disc, but, you know, for sure. And, you know, you'll find it's a lot better, and they'll work on that sciatic nerve, so it's not so pinched. It looks a little bit pinched. So what they do is they repair it.
Yeah, no, it's very pinched in the back. Yeah.
You find your head's heavy as well. Does your head feel cloudy?
No, it feels like pressure.
Yeah, and you know why?
Why?
Well, basically what's happened is, because the entity's in your abdomen, it's paralyzing your liver. So your liver's running about 44% out of 100, which means that you're not processing your toxins, so you've got ammonia in the brain. It either creates pressure, or it feels like you've got, you know, books on your head, you know, duct tape to your head, or it feels like brain fog. People feel different things. So again, stabilize the liver. It's really important to get the liver function up, and that really helps people. So we're probably going to do that on this activation. We're going to increase the functionality of the liver. So as we do that, you'll find your head will start clearing, but from 47 to 100, it will drop back to about 60 after a day or so. We'll do it again, drop back to 80. Normally it takes 3 or 4 sessions to actually stabilize the liver. That's the way the liver is, unfortunately. But, you know, I think taking this entity out and, you know, we'll release some emotion. That'll really help. So let's get you there because we want you leaping out
yes.
of bed in the morning. Going,
let's get it started for Carolyn, please.
That's like you need to be your overhaul. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, bless
Well, we're going to start today, Carolyn. Thank you for
Okay.
sharing with us and sending you so much love. All right, Carolyn.
Oh, good.
Love
Thank
you, darling.
Okay. Yeah, lots going to happen in that activation. If people haven't worked with you, Christopher, I don't know if they realize, there's a lot that you see. There's a lot of, it's an experience. I mean, I've never worked with anyone quite like you. So, okay,
yay.
Let's do it. Yay, in a yay way.
I love
all
it.
right.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Go on, let's take the next one. Yay!
Yes, we are. Here we go. I'm going to go to area code 619. 619. You are live.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi.
Christopher. My name is April.
Hi, April.
How are you?
Hi.
Yay.
Oh, I wish better.
That was a big sigh.
Yeah, well, I felt a lot clearer when you asked how I was.
Yeah.
Can you see what's going on with me? My memory is it's just getting worse and worse. I've had brain fog for years, but this is something different. I'm having a hard time even recalling mathematics and things like that I was always very good at, and just remembering just simple things.
Okay. Do you get? Well, what's going on? Do you get problems with GI as well? Intestines?
Oh yeah. Everything you were saying about that last person, I almost think you were talking to me about the sciatica down the right leg and that stuff. Pretty much everything you were saying to the last person resonated very, very highly with me. Yes.
You do have an attachment as well, but I'm not concerned whether you've got neurotoxins in your brain. You've got a rash, like a weird streaky rash that comes and goes sometimes. It looks like streaks are like purple or red.
Yeah, I have mast cell activation, which was diagnosed a few years ago. So yeah, if I scratch weird or things like that, I do get that. Yes.
Yeah, that's because there's toxins as well. Liver's running low as well. Let me just ask: have you got spirochetes? Oh, stupid question. Let's rephrase that. Everyone's got spirochetes in their body. I'm just going to see if they're replicating. Spirochetes replicating, yes or no? Oh, okay. I think you've got a viral infection. It's producing neurotoxins running low, actually lower than the last lady. It's actually going at 34%. That's where the brain fog's got an empty attachment. And the neurotoxins are affecting your brain. Problem with neurotoxins is they're neurotoxins. They kill off brain cells and they kill off nerves. So it's important to take care. Yeah, I think you've got Epstein-Barr as well, which is interesting.
Oh, I do. Yeah. And I know it keeps reactivating. Yeah, it was
liver's not clearing
it, but yeah.
But a lot of people have got it and don't realise. But the neurotoxins are affecting you. So important. This activation will take the liver to from 34 to 100%. You'll feel your head clear, but then it'll come. Don't be surprised. It comes. The fog will come back, but not as bad because it'll drop back to 50. We do it again, drop back to 80. Normally it takes a few sessions. It's going to take a bit to get rid of this viral infection. But it's important because if you don't, it's going to affect you. I mean, spirochetes also cause MS and Parkinson's. All these things are neurotoxins killing off the brain. So it's important to turn that around. So we'll start today, and I would get a package, and if you can do a one-to-one session, it's pretty important. Also your adrenals are low. You feel exhausted.
Oh yeah. Years ago, I was diagnosed with adrenal insufficiency, but then when they've tested the cortisol since, it's well, supposedly on paper it's fine, but it certainly doesn't feel like in my body that it's fine. So yeah, definitely an underlying adrenal issue as well.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's like with the liver. If a doctor tests your liver's going at 34. They probably don't see any enzyme issue, but that's not the issue. It's been energetically paralyzed, so it's not filtering the toxins out. And that's why your skin's very sensitive, because if the body has got too much toxin, it tries and dumps toxins in fat cells under the skin. And very often that's why people get weight issues, because the body's saying, okay, I've got to create these fat cells. Where do I put the toxins? And that's actually how leukemia works. If your liver aren't dumping in fat, it actually kills off stem cells, and then you get leukemia, and that's easy to get rid of. It's just, but yours is not like that, so don't worry about that. But it is important to pay attention because it is destructive.
It's like, oh, good, no leukemia.
Isn't there enough already? Yeah.
But it's funny. I can get rid of leukemia in 3 months, and the doctors, what they do is, you've got all these toxins killing the stem cells off, and so they go and give you chemo on top of the toxins that you really don't want already. And that's why people don't, that's why people end up, it's awful. It's nuts, But it is what it is. Yeah,
let's turn things around today for April. Let's get things shifted and moving in the right direction. Yeah, April.
Well, after this activation, April, you'll feel better. Toxins will be less. We'll use tachyon energy on the viral infection. You'll feel that energy. It's very different, and it starts to fry it, but it does take a little while to get rid of it. So, I'd see if you can, get a one-to-one session by getting a package or something, and we can have a closer look at it. But it's neurotoxins. That's what's happening. Bless your heart. We'll turn it around.
That just resonates as truth too. Yeah. That's what it feels like. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, April.
Oh, bless your heart.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, April. Love,
Thanks,
love,
April.
love to you, sweetie. Stay with us.
Oh, I
okay?
love your love. Okay.
All right. Bye, April.
Bye.
Okay. Christopher, in looking at the time, I want to leave plenty of room for the activation. So let's talk about, you mentioned people have the opportunity to work with you. You actually provided our community with 4 different offerings. So I want to let people know about that because, as you know, there's only so much we can do on these calls. So all of our offers, including Christopher's, are found at straighttalkforthesoul.com in our marketplace. You will see Christopher's picture. Click on that. And there are 4 different offerings that he has created for you. The first one is Offer A, which is the Divine Healing Package. Christopher, this is something that people can use on their own, and I'll let you speak about that. I just want to run through these real briefly. Special Offer B is the Divine Healing Package plus remote healing sessions. Offer C is the Divine Healing Package plus the remote healing sessions and a private session. And then Offer D is the Divine Healing plus remote sessions, the private session, and group sessions. So there's lots of support here because, as you mentioned, people need, it's not just a one-time thing. Sometimes we need further and further support and the prayers and all of these things. So what do you want to share about these amazing packages that will make people say, yay, I feel better? That's what we want, right? We want some
No,
shifts.
it will do, actually. I mean, all these meditations, do you want me to quickly run through it and about the book and things like this? Dissolving the Enigma of Divine Healing. It's all the work that I did over those 4 years. It was written about 3 years ago now, so some of the modalities changed slightly, but it's fundamentally, it's there. This is what we do. And it goes into quite a lot of depth. It's a short book. It's about 60 pages. But it's really straightforward. One thing I don't do is write blah, blah, blah. I don't fill them out up to, so it's 10 foot thick. And you've got this big book that, keeps going on about the same thing over and over again a different way. I always write, this is it, because I'm very much like that. If I read a book, I want to know exactly what's going on. I don't want the blah, blah, blah. So it's,
right.
You'll probably read it a couple of times, and people have been really, grateful for it because it does explain the cause and effect of many things. So hopefully that's a great thing. And we've got the 3 sacred prayers. So 27 esoteric and Merkabah, that's one of the most powerful prayer we've got. So that's the MP3s. And, you've got a prayer to remove spiritual manipulations in your life. That's entity attachment, things like this, or manipulation of radionics. There's all these sort of things. So that's really going to help people. And then the food blessing prayer. If I can give you a quick story about this. I have an issue with going to restaurants, and I'll tell you why. Because if the chef gets all cheesed off and has a row with the husband or wife and comes to work, the vibration around them is not good. So they cook the food. I have the ability to smell it about 100 yards. Ooh, this is not good. I won't eat it. Now, The good thing about the food prayer, I could revibrate it. The problem is if you smell it first, I can't eat that, so it puts you off. But the food prayer, what it does is bless the souls of the animals and the plants that allow your body nutrition, optimize the nutritional value, and removes any godlike particles, any engineering that's not of God. So if you use that and put your hands around the food and say that prayer, what will happen is, and taste it before, I used to do a demonstration of strawberry. So, you go to Walmart, you buy a strawberry, it tastes nothing like strawberry, it tastes like sour and blah, So I used to split them up and say, okay, let's revibrate half, let's leave half as it is. Send them around. People didn't believe it's from the same punnet. They thought, it was completely different strawberries, but it revibrates and it'll taste really different. So that really helps. And then, now releasing stress and anxiety, that's the meditation I was talking about. That releases, and what that does, if you go to a practitioner, like a psychotherapist, psychologist, they're going to poke at one or two layers, maybe, each time. You release it and that's it. This does 9 layers each time. What it does is it goes into your heart chakra. And the Melchizedek beings physically go in and they pull the biggest. We have several thousand layers. They'll go and find the biggest layer of emotion affecting you right now. So they pull it out and you'll feel it. It'll get tight somewhere. And then they'll pull the next one out. And then they'll pull the next one out. So we're going to do a demonstration of that. That really helps. Whole body detox. What does that do? What it does is it switches toxins in your body out of this time to a different time in your body and draws them out of space. So draws them out of your body. So it's kind of time-space continuum switching. So that's really good because you can detox your body every day, and that really helps because we live in a toxic world, of course. And then we've got the 21 heart chakra release. That takes layers off the top of the heart chakra. If you want to do that, that's a great thing. Releasing regret energy. What's that? Well, regret energy in the lower abdomen, it's kind of stuck energy from either sexual activity or it bleeds from the heart chakra down into the lower abdomen. For the ladies, it causes endometriosis, fibroids, or cancer of the uterus. For the guys, it causes cancer of the prostate or enlarged prostate. So that's a good thing to release because you don't want that stuck energy in there. So what that does is Melchizedek beings go in, you'll feel a pressure and release, pressure release. That does it 9 times as well. So that really helps. So they are really good meditations. Clear and activating pineal gland. They go into the pineal gland and basically what they do is they clear it. So if you've got calcification, Melchizedek beings go in there. And quartz crystal Merkaba pendant. Merkaba is obviously mind, body, spirit. It's a sacred geometric structure. They're cut in India. We have them cut in India. And, it's a beautiful thing. So, they're available. And if you wear it in your heart chakra, what does it do? It acts as a gate for good energy. So it blocks negative energy. It just feeds good energy into your heart chakra. So it's a beautiful thing. And so, and I think that's
all package A. So that could keep someone busy for a while. Just, in terms of all the layers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
a lot of fun
they're really
stuff
good
there. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And then you have package B, which then you include all of that. Plus, this is the 21 days of Melchizedek remote energy sessions. It begins October 1st through October 21st, every day, 2 hours every day. So that is in B. So it doesn't matter where people are. This is something that you do remotely, correct?
Absolutely. What we do with that is it's a clearing thing. So every day, you think about it, so what we're doing is clearing, we're removing any entities, we comb the meridian structure, we then clear the biofield, we clear the Akashic records, and then what we do is we detox the body, and then we do 9 biggest heart chakra releases. If you do that every day, I've found in the past it's made a profound difference to people. They absolutely love it. So, so that'll really help. You'll find a profound difference.
Okay. Christopher, I want to make sure, someone wrote in and said that they couldn't hear us for the last 5 minutes. Can somebody else write in or anybody else write in and let us know that you're hearing us? Because I'm hearing you and you're hearing me, right, Christopher?
Oh yeah, I'm on. Yeah,
yeah, we're on. So can a few of you write in, let us know if you're hearing us? Because the last person that wrote in said no sound for the last 5 minutes. I certainly hope that's not the case for everybody. Interesting.
Oh, pleasure.
Yeah. Let me open up one of these callers and see if area code 650. You're live. 650. Can you hear us?
Hi, yes, it's Belinda. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi. Okay, wonderful.
Hi.
Awesome. Hi. That was it, Belinda.
Belinda!
Hi, sweetheart. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, we'll go back to the package and then stay with us, Belinda, for the activation. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, I think it was just that one individual. So we can move forward, Christopher. Okay, so that was offer B. Offer C is everything in A and B plus the 30-minute session with you, which that's a treat.
Yeah, absolutely. What we do is we do 30 minutes, we fix, we look at the whole thing, we comb meridians, we do whatever psychic surgery and things we need to do, and then they run it for 6 hours after. So once we've done it, and I police it every half hour, so it's basically a 6.5 hour healing session, of which 30 minutes is talking, and then we carry on, remotely, and they'll stay in the body for 6 hours. So afterwards, so that's a great thing. It really helps people. People love it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's if you can do that at all, please do that. And then offer D is all of those things. Plus, you have 2 1-hour group energy healing calls coming up October 9th and the 16th. What happens in those, Christopher?
Well, what we're going to do is get the whole group, and we're going to do many things. We're going to do activations, look at connecting to your higher self, clearing your meridians, detoxing, working on liver, kidneys, and rebalancing. And then what we do is we clear the Akashic records. We do every single chakra release, and the 5 chakras below, and the 5 above, we clear those as well above the body. We connect them all together. We then connect you to your higher self, bring the energy down and bond it in. And then for the second call, we do a lot more, including we spin. This will be interesting for you guys. We spin the Merkaba fields around your body to 3/4 the speed of light, and it's amazing because what happens with doing that is you can actually ping lights out with it. So and it makes it feel really spacey, but it really gets the energy going if you spin the Merkaba fields, because we have 3 concentric Merkaba fields and they spin in opposite directions. So we get those spinning as well. So it's an amazing thing to do. I think, you guys will really love it.
And I want to highlight that they are recorded, and then you get access to these replays. So if someone's listening to this after these have taken place live, you will have access to all of these recorded sessions. And do you feel that they're just as potent recorded as they are live?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we actually just do the link from Zoom. So what we do is, I always run them on Zoom. You've got the link there, so it'll be sent out if you buy the package. And then what will happen is we do it, and then we'll actually send you the link of the replay, and it'll be directly on Zoom, and it works just as well on the replay. People love it.
Okay. Beautiful. And lots of people wrote in saying they can hear us and everything's great. So I'm sorry to that one person who was having trouble. Hopefully she'll hear the recording. But okay, Christopher, it's time for some turning things around for people. Let's do this activation. Describe what this is, the Melchizedek Energy Activation. What's going to happen here?
So what we're going to do is put you in sacred geometry. So we're going to get the portals around you, bond it in sacred geometry, so you're in your own sacred space. We're going to remove any entity attachments. So if you've got an Anunnaki, Draconian, or anything else, I'll explain it all the way through. We're going to break any curses, spells, and rituals. And sometimes people can get them. If someone gets angry, like, rah, they can create a curse or ritual without even realizing it. So people walk around with these things and don't even realize that A, they've done it, and B, the person doesn't realize they've got one. So always good to do that. We're going to clear and balance the meridians. We're going to clear the biofield, and we're going to do some heart chakra releases. And what I'll do is I'll take the liver up and work a little bit on the adrenals as well. Of course, the adrenals, because of emotion, take a bit to kickstart. It's not a one-session thing, but we can start on that. So yeah, well, let's do that. Take about probably 15. I'll try and do it in 10 or 15 minutes because I don't want to stress you too far. So you ready?
I'm ready, and I think we're all ready. So thank you, Christopher. Let's do this. Yes.
So let's put our seatbelts on.
Exactly. Put your energetic seatbelts on, everybody.
Oh, bless you. So what we're going to do is sit back, relax, and I want you to ground yourself. So don't forget, don't like the word God, use what you like. It's okay. You don't have the Yahweh, all it is, prime creator. So, but I'm going to use the word God because it's just, So I want you to say, I am of God. I ground myself to the earth. And I accept this healing for my highest good. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put in portals straight away. Actually, before we do that, let's remove the curses and rituals and also remote viewers. Now, remote viewers are interdimensional beings. They watch you, and by watching, they make you feel discombobulated. So let's just do that. So when I mention the word God, it means Melchizedek being. Okay, dear God, I command for everyone on this call, remove all remote viewers, infra levels wide, infra levels high, through all space-time continuum in every dimension. All the beings involved with that manipulation, infra levels wide and high, through all space-time continuum in every dimension. I'm going to bring these beings before you, God, for justice and end of the way now, not for us to judge them. Therefore, we are going to release them to you right now with unconditional love and forgiveness. So you might feel a pretty big shift as they start disappearing. Okay, we're going to break any spells, curses, ancient rituals, and then we'll put you in the sacred geometry. So, dear God, I command for everyone on this call and in the future, we break all spells, curses, ancient rituals, again, infra levels wide and infra levels high, through all space-time continuum in every dimension, all the beings involved with that manipulation, infra levels wide and high, through all space-time continuum in every dimension. I'm going to bring them before you, God, for justice and end of the way now. It's not for us to judge them. Therefore, we are going to release them to you right now with unconditional love and forgiveness. So if you have a spell, curse, ancient ritual, you'll probably feel an energetic shift within your body as that leads. So what we're going to do now is put you in sacred geometry. So ultimate dimension, 8 portals around each person on this call and listen in the future. Close it off on it. You've got to command 27 esoteric Merkaba fields around that person with their sacral point in the center of those Merkaba fields, bonding the portals to those Merkaba fields, program out the blueprint of that person's DNA and the keys of Enoch, so as not to allow anything except for the highest good to enter. So what we're going to do first is we're going to escort any negative entities out of your body. So everyone's going to feel that if you've got an entity attachment, if it's an Anunnaki or Draconian, they sit in the abdomen, hang on the shoulders. So we're going to escort out now. You'll feel a drawing sensation from your torso out through your tummy button. We'll send them back to God with unconditional love and forgiveness. If you have a snake being left or right shoulder, left or right hip, left or right breast, they're going to pull that out. So it'll feel like a spirit like unraveling, a snake being unraveling, and that's going to go back to God with unconditional love and forgiveness. If you've got archons attached to you, archons are interdimensional beings. They have no body, but they float around. So it's like a negative energy attachment. So you'll feel energy just start leaving your body now. Now, if you've got Luciferians attached to you, they're very snarly. They think they're dark, but they're really not. But we're going to actually escort them out now. So what will happen is that sometimes they may contort your body or they speak raspily through your voice. So they're leaving right now as well. Right, what we're going to do is suck out any residual energy that it's left behind in the abdomen. So we're going to put an esoteric pipe. So the Melchizedek beings are replicating this in your sacred geometric structure. Esoteric pipe through your tummy button, bag around your abdomen. Each time we suck out, your abdomen's going to get lighter. Second one. Third one. Fourth one. Right, so you probably find if you had an entity attachment, your abdomen feels lighter, shoulders letting go, you might feel a little nauseous, or it might start to gurgle a bit. So we're going to define spirochetes and nantet. We didn't talk much about that. Maybe we can talk about that in the future. Spirochetes and nantet are HIV, Agent Orange, Lyme, Morgellons. If you have any of those, you're going to get attacking energy. If we gave you normal energy, you'll get really sick because of huge die-off. So this is for everyone without spirochetes and nantet replicating the body, which is mostly on this call. You're going to feel warm, tingly in the abdomen. So it should get strong. Might find your intestines start to gurgle as they rebalance. So if you're on this call with spirochetes and nantet, you're going to start feeling the space-time continuum energy or the tachyon energy. So it's going to start getting electrostatic in the abdomen. It's going to get stronger. Stronger and stronger. And then it's going to plateau. And one thing about tachyon energy, I'll leave this probably running for an hour after. Always move the computers away when we finish the call, and it'll get really strong and turn to more like a plasma flow. So what we're doing now is combing the meridian structure in the body. Why do we do that? Why do you get blockages? Well, we walk in a third dimensional world, and there's stuck energies, within the meridian structure. So what the Melchizedek beings do is they take their hands down your body and comb any stuck energies out. So you're going to feel angelic hands go down your body or lighter with bin. So going from your crown, down your face, the back head on the left, down your neck, cross your left shoulder, down your arm. On the right, we're doing the same. On the left, we're going down your neck, down your chest, down your abdomen, out to the hip. On the right, we're doing the same. On the left, we're going from your hip down your thigh, over your knee, down your calf, and out to the foot. And on the right, we're doing the same. Right, what we're doing now is reactivating the meridian. So what the Melchizedek beings do is they've got their arm just above your crown. They've got a very thin barrier of energy. They sweep it down. Now, as they sweep it down, we're going to do it 15 times. The quicker you feel it, feels like a wave from head to toe. The more open your meridians are, and it reactivates them. So head to toe, this is 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Everyone should be feeling it by now, hopefully. 3, 2. Okay, last one. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to give you energy. So don't forget, we separated people with spirochetes and ante. It's HIV, Agent Orange, Lyme, Morgellons, and people without, obviously you'll get normal energy. So this is for everyone without, most people on the call, without spirochetes and ante replicating your body. You're going to feel light, floaty, warm, tingly, or really relaxed. We're starting that now. It's pretty profound. You should get pretty spacey. It's going to get stronger. So you guys with spirochetes and ante, you're going to get the tachyon energy, like I say, because if we gave you normal energy, it'd make you sick because you get die off. The spirochetes die off with lots of co-inflections and neurotoxins. With tachyon energy, it actually fries them to benign for the body with no die off. So we're starting the tachyon energy in the whole body. It starts off subtle. It's very static electricity. Starts off subtle. It's going to get stronger. Stronger and stronger. Okay, then it's going to plateau. And don't forget, when we finish this call, we'll keep it running an hour after. So move the computers away. It'll get really strong and turn to more like a flowy plasma feeling for your body. I'm just going to work on the liver and kidneys a little bit because I know some of you got brain fog and neurotoxins, and you'll see how the liver, once it, the functionality gets up, your head will clear. So liver and kidneys should get warm, tingly. They're going in now, so we're just going to work on the adrenal glands. So they're going to start clearing them out of stuck energies because, emotion bleeds down into the adrenals, of course, and that's why they paralyze them. So the cortisol rebalance. So you're going to feel a lot of tugging, pulling, or butterfly movement in your kidneys. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to feel that. Right, if your liver's low, so what they're going to do is work on the liver. So they're going in now. So if you've got any fatty tissue in the liver, we're going to work on it a bit, just for an hour, just to demonstrate. Don't forget, this is a demonstration of how the healing works. It's not a full healing itself, but they're going to the liver now. You're going to either feel tugging, pulling, and cool pasting. It's a very thick energy called celestial goo. What it does is recreate tissue, whatever it touches. So if you've got fatty tissue, they'll break it down and rebuild it with the liver tissue. So cool pasting and wrapping and tugging, pulling. Now, if your liver's low, they're going to take it up. So we're applying energy now. It's going to clear the liver out and it'll start to function. So if your liver's low, like 30 or 40%, as it gets higher, it's going to process the toxins in your body. So your head's going to start clearing. So it's going higher and higher. This is for everyone on the call. So head should be getting lighter and lighter. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. I think the average on the call now is up to 62. So everyone's head should start really clearing now. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. Average has gone up to 84. So your head should be really clearing now, getting lighter and lighter. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. Okay, so everyone's got to 100%. So it'll keep clearing over the next 5 minutes, because now we've got it to 100%, it'll keep clearing over the next 5 minutes. But don't forget, liver will drop back. If yours has been at 40 or 30%, it's probably going to drop back to 50 or 60. We need to do it again and again a few times to stabilize it. Right, so what we're going to do now is detox the body. So what we're doing is switching toxins in your body out at this time to a different time and drawing them out your body, drawing them out of space. Time, space, continuum switching. It's the best way to detox because it's not putting the toxins to the liver and kidneys. Now, people say this feels freaky. I think freaky's great, little freaky. So 10 seconds from now, you're going to feel a cool breeze or a drawing sensation coming out your body. So it's either a cool breeze or a drawing, weird drawing sensation. It's going to get stronger. Then it's going to plateau. Stronger again. Then it's going to plateau. Stronger again. Then it's going to plateau. Don't forget, this always lasts for 24 hours, and that's one of the meditations we're giving you in the package. It does exactly this. So, right, we're going to do 9 heart chakra releases. So, before we do that, let's break all soul ties that are not for your highest good. So that's people you had sex with, got close to. If they're not serving you now, it's important to break those ties. And when I call God, I'm talking to Melchizedek beings. So, okay, dear God, I grab all the soul ties between anyone on this call, this in the future, and anybody who isn't for that person's highest good. We're going to break them now. Command you, bring the fractal of the soul back, cleanse them, put them back in their body now. We thank you, God, send you unconditional love, so be it. So you should feel a shift, maybe even a few tears. Now, there's just a bit of a warning with this heart chakra release. It's 9 of your biggest releases. So what will happen is probably 2 hours' time next day, you might end up bawling your eyes out, like having a bit of a release for 5 to 10 minutes, or what could happen, a bit of anger comes up. If it does, I take some deep breaths and then blow it out over 7 seconds and give that energy to God as the final release. So if it does, so, you know, it's normal. So don't worry if you bawl your eyes out. It's just the final release of this emotion. So 9 biggest layers of emotion. So they're going into the onion layer. There's several thousand we have. They're going to look for your biggest emotion affecting you right now. They're pulling it out. So as they pull it out, depending on where the emotion affects the body, it can get tight either the lower back, lower abdomen, solar plexus, breastbone, foot, upper back, shoulder, or neck, sorry. And it can actually maybe head or legs as well, but it's more unusual. So it should start getting tight, tighter and tighter. Tighter and tighter. Right, breathe it out when it releases from the chest. Some people yawn naturally. Some people laugh hysterically for a second or two. Some people burp. So if you do any of that or cough, that's great. That's a natural release. But if you're not doing that, make sure you breathe it out. Okay, second one. Might be in a different place or the same place. Tighter and tighter. Tighter and tighter. Then it should release. So don't forget, meditation for stress and anxiety does exactly this. Third one. Tighter and tighter. Tighter and tighter.
Christopher, are you still there? Okay, Christopher, are you still there? I'm not hearing you anymore. I'm wondering if anybody can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Please write in and let us know. Christopher, I'm not hearing you. Let me open up a line. I'm going to open up 650. Can you hear me?
Hi, it's Belinda again.
Yeah, you can hear me then. You can't hear him, right?
Yeah, he's been gone for like 5 minutes or
yeah.
So. Yeah.
It shows that he's still there, you guys, but we can't hear him. So I think, okay, it shows he's just gone off. Maybe he'll try to call back in. Thanks for answering and letting me know you're still there. Okay, if he doesn't come back, you guys, I'll have to wrap up the call, and hopefully he did quite a bit of the process there. So, okay, is this Belinda again, right?
Yeah.
I went to you because I knew you were there. Okay.
That's
all right,
pretty
sweetheart.
cute.
Okay, let's wait a few minutes and see if he comes back. All right, thanks, Belinda. Okay, everybody, I'm going to look on our webcast and see. Yeah, you guys can hear me, but not. Wonderful, Christopher. Oh, yay, you're back.
It must have dropped out, but sorry about that. I didn't realise I was doing it, and then you said, "Oh God, here."
Could you hear me saying that?
Yeah, you were speaking to me. I said, "You can't hear me." Well, let me just put the sphere of ultimate dimensional unconditional love. I'll just do the prayer of protection.
Okay.
So this is for everybody. So, okay, dear God, I command to create a sphere of ultimate dimensional unconditional love for each and every person on this call and their Merkaba field to protect them from any negative entities, fractals thereof, manipulations, and transmissional frequencies that are not for that person's highest good through all space-time continuing in every dimension. And so we thank you, God, send you our unconditional love. So be it. Yay, so I hope you're feeling pretty floaty, worked a bit on the liver and kidneys,
Definitely.
But it's not a full healing session. It's just a little bit.
A lot of release. There was a lot of yawning going on over here on my end. Then when you went silent, I was just kind of basking in the, kind of floating around, and then I realized I better say something and make sure we can get this.
Yeah, I know, it's funny because I can see you. Sorry about that, but anyway, we did that. And,
thank you, Christopher. Christopher, you are wonderful. I want to thank you. I want to thank the Melchizedek beings for being with us, and just for all of the beautiful energy that came through in that activation and throughout our time together today. We appreciate you, Christopher, and all your devotion and your service and everything that you are, my friend. You are an incredible being. And
oh, thank you, Sean. And so are you, and thank you for all you do, because, without you, it's all about helping people and getting them back to their sovereign soul. So we're all doing great work. Thank you so much, Kerry, for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And I want to thank everybody who's joined us. Thank you for the gift of your time, your love, your openness, your presence today. Please continue to write in. Let us know how you're feeling, what stood out for you, what shifted for you, what feels different, what still needs attention. If what happened here today resonates with you, I really, really encourage you to give yourself the opportunity of working with Christopher and all of the different, the meditations, the group calls, the private sessions. There's a lot available for you. So thank you for going on another adventure with us today. I am sending waves and waves of love and light and appreciation from my heart to yours. May you feel it, receive it, and offer it to those you encounter today or tonight, wherever you happen to be in the world. And as always, until next time, please give yourself full permission to shine instead of shrink, express instead of suppress, and own that amazing glow of yours. I'll see you back here in this playground of light next time. Bye-bye, everybody.